Hey, welcome back to the channel. Super excited to be with everyone again. We are going to be doing a little bit of a treat snack video today. So this is a gutsy guy, your host Chris Mastery, and really pumped up to be before you and just doing another little video. I don't know about you guys, but I'm always looking for maybe a little snack or something to munch on, something that's healthy, something that I know is not really gonna, bother my stomach too much, because we are talking about Crohn's, colitis, irritable bowel syndrome, and a plethora of other little different things. So this is generally falls maybe under a little bit of just health and stuff like that. Feel free, you may want to adjust the recipe a little bit. Some things may not sit very well with your stomach. I like to play with it a little bit sometimes, just sort of depends. As we go through it, you'll kind of see. Today we're going to be making homemade protein bars. All right, so hopefully you guys can follow along. It's a really, really simple recipe. So hope you guys like it, and join me down here at the counter. Zion can't wait to get her paws on these protein bars. Right, Zion? Just a quick rundown of the ingredients. Today we're going to be using Quaker oats. We're going to be using some protein powder. You can use milk, but with people, if you're lactose, like to stay away from milk. So usually I'll use almond milk or coconut milk. Today we have almond milk. Use a little bit of ground cinnamon. I like to use honey, but here's the thing about the honey. I mean, you can use the liquid honey or stuff like that. I like to use the unpasteurized honey, the stuff you can get from the markets and stuff like that. I find it's just a little bit better, not worrying about if there's any added chemicals or sugars or anything like that. So use a honey, or you can use agave nectar too, works just as well. I'll use a peanut butter as well. But I don't like to use the store-bought peanut butters. I just find there's a little bit too much trans fat. There's also added sugars and stuff in those. The homemade protein powders, protein powders, peanut butter, you're going to find just a little bit more natural. So that's kind of what we're going for here, natural ingredients. We're also going to use, that I believe is 90% dark chocolate. So I like to use 4 bars for this particular recipe. We'll also use slivered almonds. I like to use a half a cup of slivered almonds. And we're going to use dry cranberries. You can use raisins if you like. I just like the sweet, tangy tartness of cranberries. I find they're really tasty. But again, remember guys, any of these recipes that we're using, if you find something's bothering your stomach, take something out. This is just more for like a healthy snack that you're not going to worry about if there's too much chemicals or anything like that in this. Going for a little bit more organic, a little bit more natural with some of this stuff. Still going to be really tasty, still going to be really good. Way better than the protein bars or the snacks you're going to find, the little bars you're going to get in the stores. All right, hey everyone. So first we're going to start adding some of our dry ingredients here. Kind of show you the proportions that I use. All right, so first we're going to use 4 cups of Quaker oats. And the Quaker oats, honestly, they're great. They're not really high in salt or sugar or anything like that. You can add salt and sugar, but again, 4 cups Quaker oats. Today this is the protein powder I have. I'm just going to use 2 cups of this. Again, you can use an almond protein powder. Running low, might have to fill those up just a little bit more. Just a little bit more because I wasn't able to fill that scoop up a lot. Oh. There we go. So as you can see, I'm probably just eyeballing it a little bit, but no matter what, you're going to get some pretty good results from these recipes. If you want to add a little bit more protein powder, you can. If you want to add a little bit less, you can. You can use any flavor of protein powder. If you like peanut butter, you can use peanut butter. If you like vanilla, you can use vanilla. Again, I have a little bit of a chocolate addiction, so this kind of gives me my little bit of a chocolate fix. So I like using this. Next thing we're going to do, we add a tablespoon of cinnamon, already pre-measured. Again, some more of the dry ingredients. I use a half a cup of slivered almonds. So if you're going to add slivered almonds, I don't recommend adding these if you're in the middle of a flare, or especially if the flare is really bad, just harder to digest. You could actually crush these a little bit more if you like. That way it's not so bad, but just remember your digestive tract is not digesting everything to the fullest of its abilities, right? So you want to make things really easy to digest. So the simpler things that you have to digest is going to be a lot easier for your body to handle this and break it down and take the nutrients out of this stuff. Okay, but we'll add a little bit of these today. Again, like I said, a half a cup, and I like to add a third cup of these. They are just dry cranberries, nothing special. Again, you can use raisins if you like. But I like the tanginess of the cranberries. Again, if this is something that bothers your stomach, stay away from this. Keep it simple. You don't need them, but I mean, it is just a nice little bit of a kick in there. So I like to add a little bit. And then the next thing we're gonna do, we're just gonna mix our ingredients. Pretty simple. Nothing major to this part here. So I just mix it really well. Awesome, so next we're gonna add the wet ingredients. We're gonna mix them together. We're gonna throw them in the microwave for about a minute or so, maybe a minute and a half until it's all melted. And that'll be the wet ingredients. And then we're gonna mix them into the dry ingredients. So I put the dark chocolate in there. I usually just like to use 4 bars. I mean, if you wanna use the little chip-its, you can too as well. This is 90% dark chocolate. Host of benefits with this. Does have something called L-arginine in it. So if you're not a chocolate fan, you're going through a major flare, highly recommend maybe not to use as much chocolate because it does help with blood flow. You know, so I would kind of stay away from this. If you're just in like a minor flare and you're not losing blood, you know, it doesn't hurt to have a little bit of chocolate. Again, like most things, I'm just showing you what I like to do today. But normally I could just do a vanilla mix if I was in a heavy flare. Okay, so we add half cup of the peanut butter. As you can see, I kind of mixed it in a little bit. It is pretty oily, so I mix it up so that you don't get all that oil in there. Just put all that goodness in there. If you don't like peanut butter, maybe don't use peanut butter. I like peanut butter, so you know, chocolate and peanut butter, it doesn't get much better than that. So the next thing, I'll do a 1/3 cup of the honey. Again, it is the unpasteurized, so it's something that you know you're not getting a lot of added sugars or anything else other than that, but I'll just scoop that in there. This is going to be fairly sweet, so but with the amount of mixture we're using, it's not going to be too bad. And then the other thing I'll do is I'll add a half a cup of almond milk. Like I said before, the almond milk just helps to keep it a little bit moist. You don't have to worry about it going bad on you throughout the day if you bring it in your gym bag or you bringing it to work or anything like that. But it does obviously work a little bit better. I mean, if you're lactose intolerant or you're having issues, you know, stay away from the regular milk and maybe use almond or coconut milk. Awesome. We'll head over and we'll start mixing up the dry ingredients with the wet ingredients. Actually, we're going to throw this in the microwave first. And off to the microwave. And I'll usually just put that in for maybe a minute and a half, 2 minutes, and let that cook up. And we'll pull the mixture out. So we just mix our wet ingredients here. You can see the dark chocolate's mostly melted. Might have to melt it just a little bit more, but we mix the wet ingredients with this. And it's smelling definitely like a little bit of chocolate and peanut butter. So Dark chocolate's still a little chunky, so I will probably mix that just a little bit, or melt that just a little bit more. Maybe another 30 seconds. Depends on how powerful your microwave is, right? So you see that's getting to be a nice creamy substance, and that's kind of what we want there. Again, if you don't want chocolate, don't add the chocolate. It doesn't have to be chocolatey. I just like mine chocolatey. So we got our dry mixture, we got our wet mixture. We're going to mix the two together, and then we're going to put it in a pan, some wax paper, and put it in the fridge. We'll just dump the dry mixture in there. We'll dump the wet mixture in there. Now, I used to make these all the time. I haven't made them in a lot of years, or a few years actually, but man, I used to love these things. They were just awesome if I needed a quick snack or something like that, especially when your health's not doing good. Always nice to have something extra floating around the house. Now we'll mix that up. Awesome, look at that, mixed up already and good to go. So I actually I forgot one thing. I normally add a little bit of applesauce, so one of the little containers of applesauce. I didn't have any, so my wet mixture was a little dry, and that will make a little bit of a difference. I had to add a little bit more almond milk and a little bit more peanut butter and stuff like that, just to make it a little more moist and stuff like that, but that's about what it should look like. The next thing I'll do is I'll just put it in a little pan with some wax paper, spread it out nice and smooth, and we'll put it in the fridge. So this is it all spread out in the pan. We're going to put that in the fridge now for about 20-30 minutes. We're going to pull them out, we're going to cut them up, and they're going to be ready to go. All right, look at those bars. All right, look at these things. These things are moist, they're delicious, they're packed full of goodness and flavor and protein. This is what you talk about when you talk about a natural, healthy protein bar. This thing is going to be great. It's going to actually fill you up. It's actually going to fill you up pretty good. You're going to love the flavor in these things too. Great for a quick little snack whenever you're out and stuff like that. So if you guys are looking for a quick little snack idea, this is a great one right here. And hopefully it doesn't bother your stomach. All right, everyone, hopefully you're enjoying the cooking shows that we're doing here, the little snack ideas. Like I said, you might have to play with them a little bit. It might be a little bit of trial and error. This is some of the stuff that works for me, some of the things that I like doing. Hopefully you guys can find some value in this and see that, you know what I mean? There are good options. Really simple. Like I said, this probably took me about 20-25 minutes to make. Doing the video took me probably a little bit longer than normal. Left it in the fridge for probably about 30 minutes. Back out, cut it up. I'm going to wrap those things up and put them in little Ziplocs and pull them out when I need them. So yeah, great option for you. Again, hopefully you guys are getting some value. If you're getting some value, please hit that like button. Please subscribe to the channel. Hopefully you guys will like what you see next. I got a bunch of ideas that I want to do. Going to talk about a bunch of different things. So hopefully you're all having fabulous weeks, and take care.